Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the PodcastSUS. Today I'm here joined by Xoyala, Pepsi, and Dan.
Hello.
And of course, myself.
Whoa.
Whoa. Face reveal, but his camera's sideways. So anyway, we're going to be talking about a lot of shit today. We hope Canuk can make it. He is not currently here. So we hope the first episode goes well. Alright then. Our first topic is, should morals be the deciding factor of laws? Let's hear what people think. I think Pepsi should start this off.
No. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, morals are based upon... Especially, morals have been around for so fucking long that they've been integrated into a lot of, very hierarchical society. So I think that in morals based on... laws based on morals are just fucking ingrained, are un-American due to the fact that they just enforce a hierarchy that should not exist in the first place. You know? You hear a lot of people claiming that, you see, homophobia. That shit had to come from somewhere. It didn't just fucking exist one day. It's that it fucking systematically was put in there by someone a fucking long time ago, and it just kind of got mainstream with the church, and now fucking it's still here today. You know? So it's just fucking...
Just so you think morals have absolutely no place when it comes to laws.
Morals can be hijacked.
Well, of course morals can be hijacked.
Exactly. So why the fuck should that be wrong?
You also say that people could be, good-natured people. Isn't that your entire arguments?
Yeah, but that's not everybody. Especially when they're fucking ingrained into, something like, I don't know, the fucking Catholic Church.
Well, the Catholic Church does have some good shit going on.
Weird shit, my guy. They touched kids and then covered it up. I think that's fucking pretty morally disgusting.
There was fucking pedo islands and the fucking Catholic Church had nothing to do with that shit.
I'm not saying that fucking church has to do with every fucking pedophilia case. In that case, we'd have I think it'd be a much more damning case for them.
I don't think Jeffrey Epstein was a member of the Catholic Church. I don't think he was going to church on Sunday.
You're streaming your screen right now. Look it up.
I'm not going to share my screen.
I will share my screen. Alright. You want me to... Okay. Was Jeff Epstein Catholic? Jeff Epstein and the Catholic Church. That doesn't say he's Catholic. Jeff Epstein's soul.
Hey,
Alright. This is just kind of connecting them together. Let me click on this. This says, Jeffrey Epstein and the Catholic Church, privileged and powerful, avoid accountability for child sex abuse.
Well,
obviously, they're similar in that way.
Wait, hold on. You're going to chat. Wait, you see that on the bottom? Right there?
Shut up, dude.
Whoa.
Shut up.
No. Click start chat.
Whoa.
Why do I want to talk? Whoa.
Hey, we're recording a fucking podcast.
We're going to have fun.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we didn't want to do that.
Zoya, you're talking, but they can't hear you.
But no, there doesn't seem to be any definite evidence that he was Catholic.
So it's just fucking speaking air right now.
Spontaneously evolved into a shouting match.
So as you can see, there's no correlation of Catholic Church and pedophilia. There's no correlation between.
Oh yeah, but they still fucking covered it up. It doesn't change anything.
Well, sure, but fucking Jeffrey Epstein also tried to cover it up.
It doesn't fucking do anything. That doesn't matter. Especially considering, did Jeffrey Epstein fucking control half of Europe for fucking millennia? No, he didn't.
Right, he pretty much controlled all of in America. He had a bunch of fucking elites.
But here's the thing. Motherfucker, are you dead ass saying Jeffrey Epstein was on par with the Catholic Church?
He was pretty damn close, considering he had fucking villas in Switzerland and other shit.
You're trolling, bro. You're actually trolling.
No, he was involved in so many fucking people that they
Did he ever
fucking assassinated. Jeffrey Epstein was fucking assassinated because he was.
Are we talking about? I'm not lying about that, but you're fucking actually saying that Jeffrey
influence. Jeffrey Epstein had major influence.
Had major influence, but he wasn't on par with the goddamn Pope.
Okay, fine, but he's still.
Are you actually fucking kidding me?
He's still on.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing he was not as powerful as the Pope.
Okay, sure, he was.
I'm pretty fucking sure he wasn't. I'm pretty fucking sure. I'm not arguing that.
And let's not forget that a bunch of politicians were also flying out to Panama Island.
And let's also not forget a bunch of fucking, including the fucking president, are Catholic.
It is a fact that the Pope is more powerful than Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, right. I can agree.
To the extent of our knowledge, Jeffrey Epstein has not undergone the second coming, and for that reason, I make the.
And also, Becca, you made that comment about, aren't people goodwill natured?
Hey, you need a better mic.
It's just that when you're talking to me, bitch. You're talking to
me.
You're the one
talking
right
to
now.
Zoya. Zoya's sitting there right now.
All right. Speaking of who's talking to who, is this segment supposed to be for just Pepsi and Crown Prince?
I don't fucking know. I don't care.
All right.
Oh, anyone can speak. We're a fucking podcast.
All right. I mean, I'm letting you guys speak. You guys are doing great right now.
I can do something other than look at my political memes, please.
All right. Honestly, that's all I'm doing right now. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't see where your motivation for your ideology would come from, other than how it's worked historically, whether it's functional and morals. So I think morals are always a factor. You can't just deny that.
Every person to person. All that does is just fucking creates a fucking majority rule that oppresses the minority.
Well, yeah, I mean, so our ideologies different from every person to person. That's
which is why I hate parties. So the fucking man.
All right. Well, what do you base your ideology on, Pepsi, other than
whether he's a self-proclaimed centrist.
Wait, let him answer.
Let him cook. Let me cook.
Yeah, let me cook. What do you base your idea? What do you base it on, other than whether it's worked in the past? Obviously.
True democracy.
Oh, true democracy is your fucking ideology.
Okay. None of this horse shit with I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I want fucking action. I want fucking people who do shit, man.
Bro, you're a fucking labor support.
That's facts. Listen.
Fuck the Labor Party, because it's a party that fucking inherently fucking leads to.
Fuck the Labor Party. Yeah, motherfucker literally holds every single opinion as the Labor Party.
All right.
Except for control, except for the treatment of trans people, except for our tacklement of and fucking I don't give a fuck about the party. If I cared about the Labor Party, wouldn't I join it? That seems like a pretty fucking slam dunk win.
You should join it. You should join it. You hold the fucking same opinions. You hold the exact same opinions.
Okay,
no, I do not, man.
I have a couple questions here. So you didn't actually name any policies that you and the Labor policy differ on. You said treatment of trans people, but they drafted all of the trans rights bills, so
when they always included something that said, but if they're under 13 they can't do it, but they have to have parental consent, all this shit. I'm saying that was man.
That was the Green Party. That was
well, the
me,
fuck
my
them,
party.
man. I don't fucking here's the thing. I don't know
you can
about
criticize us for that, but that's not a Labor Party policy.
I don't care. I don't care though. I don't care. The fact that you guys made a super coalition is your own damn fault. You shouldn't have fucking done that, because now it's just bogging down everything.
You saying we should?
Yeah.
Please stop interrupting and speaking over people and being angry and arguing for the sake of being argumentative. Your entire philosophy and the only thing you do on PSUS is use a sort of justify your anger rather than your anger stemming from your disagreement in policy. Your entire political activity is based on the general idea that you are angry and you're only arguing and debating, if you can call it, and being argumentative for the sake of such rather than any greater.
Yeah, and this needs that. It fucking needs that kick in the pants, because otherwise it's just, hey guys, look at this new bill.
He has a point. Entertainment value.
I don't really agree.
It's got a point there.
I don't really agree with that. Can you guys change something? Oh yeah, sure, let me do that. It's just fucking. It's so goddamn boring to just go. Oh yeah, guys, we should do this. Oh yeah, we should do that. And it's not like I'm being. It's not like I'm fucking being.
Weren't you calling for unity not too long ago? Weren't you calling
American
for
unity between the fucking American people? It's not this horseshit where it's like, ooh. Yeah, but here's that's not gonna happen with the fucking system we have now. I'm trying to redesign this whole fucking shit, man. I'm getting in here. I'm changing shit.
Okay, so
So he's talking to a fucking teacher right now.
Yeah, I know. While he's doing that, I have a question for you, Pepsi. So you say that like you want to have true democracy, do what the American people want, right? But what the American people want, is that not determined by their morals? So isn't that still morals in politics? I mean, I'm just saying, going back to the subject.
What? Fucking say that again, man. That fucking just like
how does that not
slid
make
off
sense?
my brain.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It slid off my brain,
Maybe.
bro. Fucking, your wording just like
fair enough.
But
fair enough. Maybe I didn't word it correctly. But the question was, should morals have?
I got that.
Yeah, obviously, you know. Okay, so if you want to have true democracy, which means equal representation of all people in the U.S., is what you want. I take it. Is that right?
No, and the true democracy is an end to bureaucracy. To further elaborate the freedom.
There's always going to be bureaucracy. Like bureaucracy is like needed in order to function. Bureaucracy is needed in any government.
Without bureaucracy.
And then look what fucking happens. Every democracy ends up
without fucking bureaucracy is anarchy, pretty much. Like you're talking about abolishing the IRS, the police, fucking tax codes, everything.
Alright.
What?
Alright.
Try being coherent. That would be nice.
Try being coherent. As these fucking cuts out. Come on, homie.
Yeah, let Xoyala say what he was trying to say, because it's hard to hear. You guys have been talking over him the whole time.
I mean, okay. Beyond that, the thing we just talked about, I do not believe that this would work as long as Pepsi is here, because frankly, he is the antithesis of any sort of reasonable and civil debate or
podcasts are not the place for civil debates.
Competitive. He villainifies people rather than tackling
what?
Or
he's calling you a bitch.
You personally, I never fucking drew my opposition as a. So, I mean, for someone who apparently demonifies people, why am I not doing that against people who would literally fucking have me hauled out and shot? That seems like a pretty fucking simple thing. Especially considering how much I've been fucking muted in the server just for fucking speaking the same things everybody else does, just in a different way.
Oh, for the viewers, by the way, he cut off. He was saying, at least I don't depict my opponents as Nazis, which was a campaign ad that, like, kind of indicated that. He claims it wasn't that, though, to be fair.
Yeah. It was controversial, to say the least.
I just like to say I 100% support being on the podcast because he makes it 100 times more enjoyable.
Yeah, there's no way. You motherfuckers aren't getting any viewers without me. I am iconic. I'm the fucking, like, what's his face?
You're the fucking enjoyment.
California. I'm the fucking viewer raker, alright? And that's why I'm the popular motherfucker. That's why I'm the motherfucker who wants to unify American people. Because American people love me. They can't get enough of me. They're fucking eating me.
Shut the fuck up for 5 seconds. We would like to introduce our guest, Canuk, a prominent and also known as God on the PSUS server. Big round of applause. Whoa!
Green Leader Canuk.
Hello, people.
Welcome to
Welcome to hell.
28.
You missed it. I was being interrogated.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be interviewing him later. 28th president, or 48th president of the United States, vice president of the United States from 2052 to 2056. This was all in season 1. But he was very productive, very prolific, and very popular. So we'll be looking forward to that. By the way, when are we going on to our next section of this podcast?
I don't know. You tell me, man. It'll organically happen.
It's kind of
fair enough. Fair enough.
We'll burn out. We'll get shit done.
Yeah. But we should interview by fucking 11:10. So let's go 10 more minutes into this discussion.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving swiftly along backtrack. I think moralities do have some impact on laws, but I don't think they should be the sole guiding. Like for example, no killing. I mean that's pretty basic rule, but it was also came out of morality, right? Because humans realized that humans killing one another is pretty fucking terrible.
Fair. Mr. President.
Riveting.
Riveting indeed. So that was the topic for the first discussion. What about the? There were 3 parts we planned for this.
Yeah. Did any of you do the fucking homework?
I fucking know what I'm going to talk about.
Okay. Let's just move on to the fucking PSUS segment of the podcast. So, the upcoming elections, I believe that's what we were going to talk about in 4 days.
Indeed.
I'd like to start off by talking about the Pennsylvania governor's race, which was, especially for a governor's race, it is incredibly well covered. And
yeah, that fucking governor race is fucking on fire right now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You don't see that much drama between governors that much. You mostly seen it between the reps.
And despite the fact that Brightlook is a member of my coalition and that in general I am aligned with him, I find it difficult to endorse him.
Really?
And don't.
Because there's 2 degrees of left here in the Labor Party. I mean, there's of course the idea of people like Bakuna and LLC and A-Person and Potato Girl, who are some of the social democracy, maybe even leaning into socialism side, right, the moderate side. And then you have bright, literal, seize the means of production,
Yeah. Didn't fucking Popular Front just explode into talking about seizing the means of production and moving away from capitalism, full on socialism?
No, that
wasn't an entire fucking discussion about that Popular Front.
The thing you're discussing is, it's still going to be within a capitalist framework. It's just that we are considering. I am not considering, but we are considering assisting and help foster the worker co-ops in capitalistic economy, the economy that will remain capitalist. Second term. But it is undeniable that worker co-ops are superior in protecting and providing for the needs of the many, and we are considering helping worker co-op helping establishing more.
I don't know about the Labor Party. Apparently, this isn't really a move to socialism, as you just explained. But as for my party, the Green Party, the 3 of my members who are active are very much pushing for socialism. So I'm not in favor of that personally. Even as a conservationist, I think the free market has some ways to develop green technology and help the environment. And just because of its other benefits, I don't think it should be totally eliminated. So I'm actually trying to move to. I'm trying to leave the Green Party, but I don't want to leave them in the dust. I want to make sure they have a leader. So I haven't done so yet. So that's just something else that's going on.
Dan, can I just ask you a question?
Sure.
Dan, how the fuck did you become the Green Party leader?
Gaming, bro.
Okay, funny story about that. So, I was coming back to PSUS after, for the first time in Season 2 when I was actually really participating. It was 2029 in Sim, and I was trying to join a party. And so I said I wanted to join the Green Party, but it turned out the Green Party wasn't doing real well at the time. So, long story short, I got in contact with their leader at the time, Cousin Gerald, who had a very busy life at the time, and he handed over leadership of the party to me. And I've had it since then, which was like October in real life, until now.
Wait, that's it? He said, "Hi, I'm Dan Taco," and he's just like, "Here's the party."
Yeah,
I
pretty much.
I gotta say,
swagger.
yeah, I don't remember the exact process that happened. There was more to it than that, but he did hand over ownership to me.
Well,
Then-
if you ever want to come over to the ACA, I'd give you a position.
Noted.
Doesn't
Simply
sound real
because-
democratic, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, listen. It's a fucking party. It's a fucking party, first of all, and the fucking board has to vote on it. So, like, there's some stuff, but I definitely recommend you as a board position. I'm 90% sure.
It's like 2 levels away from like actual fucking votes. You know?
These are exactly the place for democracy. That's the main government stage.
But they don't promote democracy. What they promote is oligarchy, because eventually you get the same people doing the same positions for the years, and nobody does anything. They just
It's
eventually
almost
realize,
like that's the popular front.
It's almost as if that's you too, man.
Me?
To
be fair,
the government.
No, Crown Prince. To be fair, Pepsi has been 50% equally critical of the Popular Front.
Yeah,
as the United Conservatives. Equal, like it's been. We've both gotten the.
Also, it's not an oligarchy. It's not an oligarchy when the people vote in their leaders. The oligarchy votes themselves in.
But then eventually you get to the point where it's like, oh, why would I ever vote for anybody else? These guys just keep winning. It's not like my fucking opposition is going to do
the American people. That's the will of the American people. Then
the will of the American people that's been diluted and eventually fucking, you know.
Nate, if you disband all parties, the parties will just reform again.
Not fucking based on any actual central ideology, though. What they're going to do is...
Yes, they will! They'll just reform. They'll just reform. How do you think the parties got formed in the first place?
Well,
as I was saying, basically the idea is that what happens is... You get rid of parties, right? Still going to collect together, right?
So we can barely hear you.
But if you refuse to let them, actually, like, if they don't have anything to run on, that's just the party. I mean, how many fucking candidates do you know that just show up and then, bam, they get the vote because they've got a party in their name?
That is a valid point. That happens both.
That happens all the fucking time.
That's literally like the Bull Moose back in the 2050s.
Bull Moose. I was part of the Bull Moose. Oh my gosh.
Fucking exactly.
They just show up as like, yo, I'm part of the Bull Moose.
Hear me out.
The vote.
Yeah, I'm the base guy from the 1850s.
You are nowhere near base. But if you disband,
I don't know.
Okay.
If you disband parties, they're just gonna form again.
Yeah, but they're not gonna be fucking running on their party. They're not gonna be going, oh, I am the Popular Front candidate. They're gonna go, yeah, I'm Job.
All right.
And then somebody's gonna go, I'm Joseph, and I've got an entire fucking plan. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm a little bit more rights leaning than my opponent here. And then people are gonna go, oh, that guy's clearly more fucking occupied than it. However, if you just got the job, you go, hey, I've got an entire plan. I'm part of the United Conservatives. People are immediately gonna demify that, as what has been fucking happening for you guys, as you may not be aware. People fucking haven't been voting for you because you fucking keep building your own grave. So then, says somebody,
recently.
Yeah, but then you're not getting any votes. That's the will of the American people, right?
Yeah, that's the will of the American people. That's the will of the fucking American people.
It's just fucking, it's stupid, man. You're just fucking you guys keep doing the shit where you're like, oh, we don't support this, but this person is part of our party, and they support that.
Yeah,
so
we remove them. We fucking remove them. We fucking remove them.
That's almost never happens. Pepsi, to be fair.
When you're in a party, you've got to claim fucking ownership of people in your party. But if you're just an organization like the one that fucking just recently formed, you don't have to claim responsibility for anybody because you're not in control of them. They are themselves. You can just fucking let them go fucking wild. And that's what I'm fucking doing. I'm going in there. I'm going like, hell, just the other day, just like before we started streaming, I got into a huge argument with some guy, and he was trying to like, and then I like, it was just fucking really stupid. But we're still in the same coalition, all this shit. We're completely different parties.
Fucking shocker. Pepsi got in an argument. What a shock. Anyways, we are gonna move on to the guest segment because we're running out of time.
So we have here with us one of the most famous members of PSUS, definitely the most famous guy to ever hold the presidency. Sorry, Xoyala. He was the 48th president of the United States.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Xoyala.
Whoa. He was the 48th president of the United States from 2033 to 34, and I don't really count vice president numbers, but he was the somethingth vice president from 2025 to 2026. Now, what was that like? Talk about that, Canuk. What was it like being a president? How hard was it? How easy was it? What was it like?
Alright, so basically the first time I became president was sort of messed up. I never really became president, if you will, because I won the election over Commander, because I only released one ad, I remember, in that election.
Okay.
But it was election. It was actually a rather famous ad, because most of my election campaigning was spent on Discord rather than Reddit, whereas Commander just like spam posted shit, right?
I mean, that sounds like a good strategy to me.
So one of the things I campaigned upon was the fact that Commander is just like he always made like with any candidate of his, or opposition of his, he always made like how would I put it, negative posts. You know what I mean? Like he's almost like a spin doctor, if you will. You know what I mean?
He focused on his actual campaign.
Yes, I said
Okay.
I was the unity sort of vote, right? It still sort of exists where like many times like people on the right are more like friendlier to me than like other members of the left on PSUS. This is particularly true back in that era of PSUS, where it was more rapid fighting, especially when it was openly the Socialist Party.
Yeah. So you were a socialist at the time. You ran alongside in 2052 a bull moose, which was not socialist. They actually used the we because I was part of that party, used the ideology of Theodore Roosevelt's Progressive Party. So where do you see yourself disagreeing with your running mate Droog Muster, and do you think you had any influence over his policies?
Wait, holy shit! You ran with Drew?
Yeah, I got 2 terms with Drew. Yeah, that's the years of presidency come from. Like I was dubbed the eternal vice president at the time. I mean, I still meme about this for like, you know, just being a VP for that long. So. But anyways, yes, influence over Drew. I would say I had a bit of influence, like, because we ran a more social democratic agenda, whereas I think if it was purely without
purely bull yeah.
They might have gone more a full capitalist route, but like with benefits and everything.
It would have been a lot about very focused on workers' rights, just like Teddy himself was back in the day. Yeah.
Yep, precisely. But I think being part of the Bull Move Socialist, it was definitely slightly more to the left. And I guess fun fact: the guy who started Tapir Man was a part of the Socialist Party back when I was running for president. Like before, I would say before the Socialist the Socialist Party was actually more broad, and then once the Boomers split off, most of our votes left, and so it became a rump party. I just stayed with the rump, but like technically speaking, my political views are probably more represented in the Boomers Party, but I just still stayed.
Okay, that's fair, because during your presidency, there wasn't really a huge. You didn't try to transform the economy into to completely change the economic system of the U.S. It seems to me that you just implemented some policies that would be that have socialist programs and things socialists would support in them. Is that would you say that's accurate?
I would say that's pretty close to accurate. Like, let me just put out like my political views. Like, they have not really changed. Like, even since I could remember. Like, because I've been really politically interested for a long time. Like, since I was like 10, 11, I'd even go for it.
I didn't even
so
start
I've
that
been
early.
rather. Pardon me.
You've been rather what?
I said I've been rather politically like thinking, if you will.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So my views haven't changed much, and I've always been more like a left-wing person, like a a democratic socialist, if you will.
All right, so socially, would you say that you're more authoritarian or libertarian? Because I've never.
Not wing. I've done tests before. I always end up being just on the middle.
Okay, that's a good balance, I think. Like, you need some authority, but you can't have totalitarianism or anything like that.
Yep.
Speaking of like balances between power and stuff of the sort, have you been following any of the news? You know probably who the candidates are for this 2048 election in PSUS, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Is there anyone you would like to endorse or express support for in this upcoming election?
Clearly me.
Well, I mean, okay, bro. I'm literally part of the party, so like, I think it's rather clear.
Okay, let's say we all deafen, right? Then would you feel more inclined to actually share your views instead of just fucking, you know?
We will just.
Wait, you said it's pretty clear.
You don't need to defen it because like I do support Xoyala and Buchanan's policies.
No! All right, there's people of PSUS. That's a pretty major endorsement right there.
Like, okay, if I were what do you call this?
Pretty major.
Shoes. I would be passing nearly the same shit that they're passing. Like, it literally just like I support them. Like, there's nothing that I have against them.
Wow.
Wow,
that's a bold.
Grudges against me.
That's a bold. Okay, that is a bold statement from a bold man right there, folks. Another thing I wanted. All right, you can continue to explain it, but I think I understand your point, and I think you have a point that some people will resonate with, especially those with a similar ideology. But go ahead.
All right, I was going to say, like, I always respect all candidates. Like, I think all the candidates always do a good job, even if they don't win. It's just like they're putting themselves out there.
Yeah.
You know, they got more effort. You know, like 90% of PSUS can't say the same stuff. So like, I always want to give like a round of applause to all the other candidates. You know, who knows? Maybe might win. Like, you never know, man. It's all like, cause there's been so many surprise elections, right? It's like so many people thought it'd be a close election for my election. Like, it really was, but like at the start of it, I got like 2/3 vote compared to Commander and held it for a long ass time. So. All
right. I mean, that's it's very interesting right there. Speaking of your presidency, you were elected in the 2032 election and served from 33. January 20th, 33 to some point in 34. What happened that didn't allow you to finish your term? What? It's a pretty interesting story. I've heard it. Why don't you share it with the people of PSUS?
Alright, yeah. So this is pretty much every single OG. If you're an OG, you know this. You've been there when it happened. That's sort of what defines an OG. So what happened was I wasn't even really active from 32 to 34 either. Like, I basically, like, I think the max I did was like get 3 justices on board.
You passed 7.5 bills a year. According to the spreadsheet. That was like the third most of any president in season 1.
For what?
I think that might have been afterwards during my vice presidencies, and also preceding my presidency. But during my actual presidency itself, I got nothing passed because, like, the people passed it themselves, if you will. I was not active.
Okay, because you got a lot of things passed. Did they just like allow it to pass because so many days had gone by?
I think that was rather the case, yes. So what happened was, I
was wondering why you had no vetoes.
Yes. So I went to, I guess, my other home. So I was like, traveling. So that's what happened. on the day of the election, right? Afterwards, I'm pretty sure my dad didn't want me on like electronic devices because I was like grade 11 or going into grade 12 and stuff. So this man, basically, I was on r/PCM, right? So anyways, this man just walks up, catches the phone. He's like, "So, you're on PCM, so you must be terrorist." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You're a terrorist." So this man called me a terrorist, right? And he took my phone. And actually, I didn't.
That is crazy.
I didn't even have a phone at the time. That was literally my iPad, bro. Yeah, like
Hey,
I don't have a phone until like now, until I went to college.
iPads for
So this man seized my computer, my laptop as well. He seized the iPad. I did not have any electronic devices for a good 7 months. I'd go. I didn't get my laptop back until like 9 months later, like in January. Next year.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Canuk. Is that where you got your motivation to become a socialist? Because your father stole your means of online production?
I mean, if I think about it, I think my father is like just as left-leaning as me. But like, yeah, I think me and my father are literally almost the same ideologically. Like, minus he's a slightly bit more socially conservative as well.
But yeah, another thing. If we have any time left here, I would like to ask you about the confusion that happened after President Drew.
Hold on, there might be a dogfight happening. I gotta break that up.
All right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he has to break up a fight between his dogs. No, but there was some after President Drew.
They have the right to fight.
Wait. Okay, after President Drew Muster tragically died in a protest, there was some confusion about like inaugurating the next president. There were at least 3 people inaugurated, including you and Belgian Noah. But you aren't listed on the spreadsheet as a president. Were you officially president for some time? For like a day?
I think I was.
Time?
I would say I was acting president for a while. Yes.
Okay, acting president. Got it.
I think they didn't count it because they didn't want my time total to be up to the point that I do not have the chance to become president or vice president again.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but you weren't even close to that limit. You could have conveniently enough, you could have served 2 more terms as president on top of those 2 years, maybe on top of that time as acting president as well. Now, Mr. Canuk,
yes.
Would you ever consider a return to PoliticalSimulationUS?
I mean, I am returned. I'm just more like a lurker at this point.
All right. What do you consider a return to the government, to having more participation in elections, maybe running for office?
Yeah. In the weeks past, I was part of like the list for candidates. I think until 2036, I believe, or 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I must
next year. I was
the
Labor in the House of Representatives, so I was on the party list for like getting in. I don't know what happened.
Oh no, yeah, that's cool. I mean, you're telling me stuff that I should know, but I didn't, because I just started getting active around that early 2030s, and I just had to relearn a whole bunch of stuff about PSUS. I didn't even know the House could, whether the House could introduce laws in PSUS at the time. Once I did, I tried to start making laws, but yeah. So if what current party in PoliticalSimulationUS do you currently align yourself most with? There is a socialist party, so I guess that's the obvious answer, but they've only recently become
I still align myself with the Labor Party because me and Omega are actually the people who founded it. So like,
okay. See, that's news to me too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You gotta remember, folks. A vote for Labor is literally just a vote for Canuk. Canukism. I guess that's sort of like a meme term now. Yeah, Canukism. It's literally just like some of my ideas.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one big meme in the past I remember was Canuk's roll of approval as a young PSUS member, I always dreamed of getting that role in the Discord. So
I think you definitely should have deserved it, because I remember you back then. I remember you regarding your AP bills. You know what I mean? Like I remember you.
Yeah, thank you. AP bills.
Like, regarding the AP credits.
Oh yeah, I probably made a bill that had something to do with that. Yeah, well that warms my heart. Thank you very much. You even had a few. Still have a couple of emojis. And you.
Yes, I think I still have a sticker as well. Canuk, my beloved.
Yes, stickers.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, CrownPrince.
What do you think is your proudest piece of legislation?
Good question.
My proudest piece. I think it was the one I made while I was under Scrub's cabinet as Secretary of Transport. I guess one tradition I sort of spawned in was after 2048 speaking. So I returned in 2048, right?
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
2042 actually, right? Like 2043, like near the end of that election.
All right.
Or sorry, 2044, not 2042, but yeah. So I returned to PSUS at the time. I returned on the day of the election. So in 2048, I ran against Scrub. That was my next run for presidency.
Scrub was a strong candidate. He appeals to everyone, but like still keeps his conservative views. I mean,
it was basically just like a mirror image of me, if you will, but on the right side.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to describe it.
I was kind of shocked when he lost against him.
Yeah, I know many people are even surprised that he won it. But yeah, I definitely give props to him. He built a strong campaign. I could have probably campaigned more, but he had a strong case. Yeah. So when Scrub won, we sort of got the idea of, let's give the loser of every election a cabinet post.
Ooh.
So this is sort of a tradition. I'm not sure if it still exists now, but it was a tradition.
Yeah, I don't know if it does. It does. I ran for the presidency in 2040, season 2, and I got a cabinet position. I'm the secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services under him.
Yeah, usually it's given to the second, but oftentimes it's also given to the third one. And that's like one thing I find beautiful about PSUS is because the people who run are usually the most active, so they know well, even if he's a different party, he's still probably better choice giving to like an active party leader. So under Scrub, I was Department of Transport, which I'd still probably say is my favorite position. And under that, I passed the Canuk 5-year transport bill, if you will. I sort of memed about the 5-year plan, but basically it was actually a rather good bill. Improved rural transport a lot. It was supposed to be a three-stage bill, but the second stage was blocked by the reset. Actually, I think
that's unfortunate.
I think I might have done the second pass through. Yeah. What? Like I could still probably post you the doc if you would like to see it.
No, I did see that. That was posted. Well after your presidency, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was well after. Yeah.
So that's actually something very interesting. So as far as transportation, I, as a governor, have most of the time in Ohio, one other state, South Dakota. I've implemented a train system going from rural areas to cities and free, because I think that one of the biggest protests that you get from rural people in real life about public transportation is, why am I paying my tax dollars for this? I ain't getting none of it. It's only for the people for those city dwellers. And it has to come out of my taxes. Let's just keep driving our cars. But you actually accounted for that, which probably would get the whole nation.
Yeah. I sort of had like 3 stages. Like the stage I was going for was like the really rural places, like the the hamlets of like 100 people, right?
That's exactly the people who are most against public transportation in real life. Yeah. So very smart.
And I coming from a rural area, so I knew about these problems with rural transport, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I essentially made the principle of connector cities, quote unquote. So these are cities that are geographically well suited, or like major population centers where people in the surrounding areas go to shop, especially rurally. So I essentially made bus services that connect these areas, and so bus into the connector city. And the next stage of the plan was to build trains between these connector cities in the major cities, and then the final stage of the plan was to build connections between major cities and infrastructure within major cities for public transport. This was probably one of the largest bills as well, like on the time, especially money-wise. So I did spend quite a bit on it. I think we spent. It definitely was
the amount. Drop the amount, because I've seen some pretty expensive bills. Could this one top them all? It would actually really.
It was in the trillions. Like
okay, well into the trillions. Understandable.
Okay. I'm gonna have to wrap the podcast here because
fair enough.
Xoyala left, and currently going over our time a little bit, and I don't want to give Dan ages to edit this video. I kind of want this out by tomorrow at least. Would you like to have any closing statements?
I guess thank you for inviting me here. I do hope to be part of the larger podcast crew in the future. You know.
Mm-hmm. We could look into that.
Yeah, that would definitely be.
Yes, I guess one final message. Remember PSUS. Even though you might oppose them one day, they might be your friends the other. Because that's how many of my friends are made. They're from the opposite side of the political spectrum. So even if you don't agree politically, just be good human beings, people.
Yeah, fair enough.
Great.
Take notes, Pepsi.
Alright. Don't use this message, Crown Prince, to cause any division yourself. Now, a great unifying message for all Americans and a great place to end this episode.